Single dad gets fired in front of everyone, the new CEO rehires him and proposes marriage. Noah Walker's hands trembled slightly as he clocked in for the late shift at Ellison Tech. He wiped sweat from his brow with a coffee-stained sleeve and forced a smile at his coworkers. Another long night, and all he could think about was the babysitter's overtime fee and the note his 6-year-old daughter Emma had slipped into his lunchbox. "You're the best daddy in the world. I love you more than pizza." Noah, a single father and warehouse supervisor, had worked at the company for over 10 years. He wasn't flashy or ambitious, just steady. Reliable. The kind of man who picked up extra shifts without complaint and brought donuts for the crew on Mondays. Since his wife passed away 3 years ago, he had poured everything into raising Emma and keeping their tiny world afloat. But that world was about to crack open. At the all-staff meeting that morning, the tension was palpable. Whispers floated through the warehouse like smoke: new ownership, restructuring, job cuts. Then the announcement came like a gut punch. "We regret to inform you that some positions are being eliminated," the HR manager read robotically. "Noah Walker, your role has been deemed redundant effective immediately." Silence. A few coworkers looked down awkwardly. One of them gave a weak, "I'm sorry, man." Noah stood frozen, red rising in his cheeks. Fired. Just like that. No thank you, no handshake. In front of everyone he quietly packed his things, his dignity shattered, and walked out without a word. That night, Emma hugged him tightly. "Are you okay, Daddy?" Noah smiled weakly. "I'll always be okay as long as I have you." The next morning, the company buzzed with news. A new CEO had officially taken over, Ava Sinclair, a tech prodigy known for bold leadership and unconventional thinking. But unlike most executives, Ava didn't start with boardrooms and spreadsheets. She started on the warehouse floor. She spent the entire week walking the aisles, asking questions, meeting the people behind the machines. When she reached Noah's former station, she noticed a photo pinned to the board, a little girl holding a sign that said, "Go Daddy Go." "Who worked here?" Ava asked. That was Noah Walker," someone said. "He was let go last week during the transition." "Solid guy." Ava's expression changed. "Why was he let go?" "Restructuring," came the shrug. She nodded slowly, her face unreadable. A few days later, Noah was fixing Emma's breakfast, peanut butter toast again, when there was a knock at the door. He opened it to find a sharply dressed woman with kind eyes and a determined smile. "Ava Sinclair," she said, extending her hand. "I'm the new CEO of Ellison Tech." Noah blinked. I think you have the wrong house." "No. I have the right one. I came here because we made a mistake." She handed him an envelope. Inside was a letter offering him not just his job back, but a promotion. "Your dedication and loyalty haven't gone unnoticed. I'd like you to return, as a senior operations manager." Noah was speechless. Why are you doing this?" Ava smiled gently. "Because people like you build companies like ours. And because your daughter's sign made my day." Back at work, Noah thrived. With Ava's support, he implemented systems that saved the company thousands. Emma came to visit the office often, always bringing Ava hand-drawn thank you cards. Over time, Ava and Noah became friends. She admired his humility and work ethic, he admired her strength and heart. They shared stories over coffee, laughed about warehouse mishaps, and slowly, something more began to bloom. One afternoon, after a company event, Ava pulled Noah aside. "There's something I've been meaning to say," she began. "You reminded me what leadership really means. Not power, but people. You brought kindness into a cold system. And, you brought light into my life." Noah's eyes softened. "You changed my life too. You gave me back more than a job. You gave me hope." In front of the entire warehouse team, just as he'd once been humiliated, Ava knelt down, held up a small velvet box, and said with a tearful laugh, "So I was wondering, would you give me the honor of spending my life with you and Emma?" The room erupted in cheers and stunned silence. Emma jumped up and shouted, "Say yes, Daddy." Noah, choked with emotion, nodded and whispered, "Yes. 1,000 times, yes." They married in a small ceremony by the lake where Noah had first taken Emma fishing. His co-workers came in droves. Emma was the flower girl and cried the loudest during the vows. Noah never imagined life would give him a second chance, at family, at love, at purpose. But it did. Not because of power or luck, but because someone saw his worth when the world didn't. And in that moment, he realized, kindness isn't just a virtue. It's a revolution. The man who once walked out of a warehouse job with his head down was now walking back in hand with his daughter and his future wife, ready to build not just a better company, but a better world. And it all started with one brave woman who chose compassion over convenience. Because sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do, is simply care.